As a parent, you may have a son or daughter who's active in sports. And here to talk with us about how to safeguard our kids in sports to help them balance their lives is sports mom and entrepreneur Sherri Gold. She's the managing partner for the Sports and Education Expo that's opening here in Philadelphia on May 31st through June 1st. Welcome, Sherri Gold.
Thank you. Thanks for having me today.
Oh, it's great. So I think it's a very important subject because you and I were talking and you sent me some incredible statistics that more than, well, at the age of 13 or a little bit under, a lot of children are deciding, who have been in sports, who have been athletes, are deciding not to be in sports. Why is that?
There's actually a few reasons. One is maybe overbearing coaches or parents,
Right.
And the pressure that they adopt from those entities, and they end up putting a lot of pressure on themselves. And a lot of parents are starting their kids younger and younger in sports, so literally by the time they're 13, they're really burned out. They're tired of it, and they're kind of done with playing, especially if they didn't have a 100% positive experience.
And right, and also because there's a lot of discipline that many people aren't aware of in terms of the practice, the prep. I work with some clients who they're having practice 4 or 5 times a week, and that's intense, not only for the individual, but for the family.
It is. Sports has really become big business. We have over, it's estimated 45 million children in the United States.
Wow.
Participate either in a school or a community-based athletic program. That's a lot of kids.
Right.
Now, it's a wonderful thing, and it's something that I think that should be encouraged because there's a lot of data out there that shows that kids who participate in sports, they tend to have higher grade point averages. They tend to have a better attendance record at school. They lower dropout rates. They lead a healthier lifestyle, and they seem to have less disciplinary problems, which is all wonderful.
Right.
Aside from all of the good stuff, though, we have the flip side of that.
Right, but it's interesting because oftentimes people think of an athlete as somebody who can't get through his or her grades. They're flunking out in all their subjects, and the reason they're kept on is because they're doing well in their sport.
I think that happens, but I would say for the majority that is not true. These kids are learning time management
Right.
At a much faster rate than another student might be. They learn to be disciplined. They learn to manage every segment of their life, and that, I think that is another positive too.
That is.
Everything's about balance.
Which is sort of where we are now, and because firstly you have an incredible background in retail and as an entrepreneur, and you worked in a company where you actually went from helped to go from 6 employees to over 175 in a really short period of time. Kudos to you.
Thank you.
But so you've taken all those skills and decided to create this Sports and Education Expo. What was your goal for this?
My goal is to literally bring as many resources as I can together under one roof for the sheer benefit of coaches, parents, student athletes, anybody involved in youth sports. Flat out purpose is to keep everybody healthy, safe, and help them lead a balanced life.
So how do they lead a balanced life if they're so much involved in sports? And again, like I said, somebody is having practice 5 days a week. What are they going to learn from the expo and from some of these experts and teachers that's going to help them sort of change that or sort of rebalance or recalibrate themselves?
Hopefully what our attendees will take out of this is that sports are wonderful, again, but they can't be our whole life. These kids need to focus on their education,
Sure.
their schoolwork, and we want to encourage the parents and the coaches to help develop that atmosphere to let that happen. Once we reach that point and competition becomes so fierce, everybody loses sight.
Right.
And
Because it's just
so,
about winning in the game.
exactly. And winning is great and the game is great.
Right.
But once we lose sight of our homework and the real goal of furthering the education, and if we lose sight of taking care of our bodies and taking care of our minds, everything becomes unbalanced
and then where are we?
And then where are we?
Okay,
So hopefully they'll take out the message that, you can have fun, you can excel in sports, you can study just as hard, and you can take care of yourself all at the same time.
You can make it work. So it's also for, like you said, it's for coaches, it's for parents, it's for kids, it's for people who are helping kids so that they all get the message.
We want kids to self-advocate. If we give them the right tools and we give them the right information where they can self-advocate, they know, listen, I've gone too far, I'm tired.
So this expo is May 31st through June 1st, is that correct? I got that. Okay, so you sent me another startling statistic. I think it's about 14 million or whatever young athletes that are injured before a certain age. Why is that? What's going on with that, and what happens?
Sadly, at least just in the high school alone, 2 million high school athletes are injured every year. 500,000 doctor visits, 30,000 hospitalizations.
So they're not taking care of themselves.
They're not.
Or they're going back in the game too soon.
Part of that, yes. And I think part of the problem is that that's where education is lacking again. We need to be aware of what we're doing to our bodies and learn how to rest and learn how to read the signs appropriately and not push our kids to go back in too soon.
So that's why it's so important for people to go to this expo. You're going viral and national with it after Philadelphia. I wish you the best of luck with this.
Thank you
really,
so much.
Sherri, and I hope to be there. Power Your Life will be right back. Find out what's coming up next week. Volunteering is on the rise, and for good reason. It's human nature to want to feel useful and to want to make a difference in other people's lives. As much as it helps others, it can change you in many ways. When you give back, you can also reap the benefits. Begin by looking around the community in which you live with your neighbors, your friends, and find ways, large or small, to help out. Every boost can make a difference to another person. Every winter, one of my colleagues helps his neighbor with his snowblower by clearing their snow-packed driveways and walkways. Why? Just because he feels it's the right thing to do. But who needs a reason? Giving back also enriches you and can brighten up your mood and your day. You'll feel better about yourself afterwards. Volunteering gives you time to reflect about you and also offers you an opportunity to be thankful and to feel fortunate for what you do have. That's it tonight for Power Your Life. On next week's show, Box of Stars is an organization that's helping to promote mental health through music. Next week, you'll meet Ted Richardson, who'll discuss how he and other musicians are changing lives and changing minds. Remember that you have the power to power your dreams and power your life. Thanks for joining us tonight.